Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Powerful on Purpose podcast, where we talk to amazing, talented women who are using their stories to build a business and brand and spread their mission to the world. And today I'm super excited to introduce our guest, Beth Mielbrecht. Think I got that right. I had to check myself there. And Beth is a health detective. And I love this term. We're going to find out a little bit more about what that means. And she works with brilliant, intuitive people who know their symptoms mean something. And she helps people get exact answers. No more guessing. And you got to love that, because I think there's a lot of misinformation and dampening of our own intuitive spirit. So she uses digital muscle testing. Ooh, super fun to find out, and find hidden imbalances, and provides custom remedies with one-on-one coaching. And clients describe her as the Google Maps for your health. Wow, that is quite the Google Maps. So welcome, Beth.
Hi, Leslie. So happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. So, well, one, I always love to start with people's stories, how they come to do what they're doing. And I'm sure that Google Maps is going to somehow come into that story.
Yeah, those Google Maps for your health is something one of my clients told me. She said, "Beth, oh my goodness, you just laid everything out. You're like Google Maps." Wow. And also another client said I was a health detective. And I said, "Oh, I like that. I've never heard of that before. I'm going to use that." So I can't take credit. You should know this about me. I'm a mechanical engineer for 35 years. So coming up with clever words is not my strong suit.
I love that. And I love that you just acknowledge it, right? So tell us, what was from mechanical engineer to helping people get healthier by being intuitive? Because probably in some people's minds, they're like, those two don't go together.
Yeah. Well, as an engineer, mechanical engineer, so mechanical engineers are the ones who build your cars, your buildings, your heating, your ventilating, your air conditioning equipment. We are tangible problem solvers. I see a problem and I'm on it with a solution. That's what I did for decades. I led a team of people to build solutions for problems. Then department, companies, worldwide teams. Just, you got a problem, I got the people, we're going to fix it. And then I started noticing that other people didn't pay attention to their bodies the way that I paid attention to mine. And I didn't realize that I naturally was in tune with my own body. When something hurt, I could feel it right away. It didn't build up for months and months. It was like, oh, I got to do some stretches, or maybe I got to go to the chiropractor, or wow, I ate something and that didn't go down well. And I started getting irritated, really irritated at friends and family who would complain about their health. Now, tell me, does anybody relate to this? And I said, but you can fix that. There's solutions. Keep asking questions. And said, oh no, I get a migraine. It's only once a week. I just, I can't do anything one day a week. Oh my gosh, there are so many solutions. There are so many reasons for migraines. You can figure out what your own is. And they say, I tried medication. That just makes me feel nauseous. I don't like that. I tried meditation. I can't do that. I don't like that. So I'll just live with it. A good friend has a hip problem. Lots of buildup of just a lot of aches and pains in her hip. Too young, only 50 years old. Said, I can't really go on the hike. When we get together, I'm just going to stay at home because I can't go on a hike. My hip hurts. I said, oh, why is that? Or she said, well, there's nothing we can do about it. I'm just going to wait for a hip replacement. I'm going to wait a few more years. I'll be old enough for a hip replacement. I'm like, no. And it is honestly that frustration at people not looking for solutions and me being a problem solver that said, I need to figure this out. And so I've been taking care of my own health and my own family with different forms of energy medicine, hands-on healing. I'm a homeopath, Reiki master teacher. And so I started putting what do I know? And when I got the last piece, then I said, you know what? I'm ready to take this on the road and help other people, because no more complaining. You can heal yourself.
I love that. I think that should be the tagline, right? No more whining. I can tell like we're sisters from other mothers, because yeah, that I understand that frustration completely, right? Or that yeah, you suggest something, oh no, that won't work. Okay, okay, yeah. So I appreciate that you delved into it and said, I'm gonna solve this problem for
Mhm.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about when someone comes to you, how do you start that sort of detective process?
Great. So the detective process is built on my decades of study for and experimentation on myself, but I've been studying with a renegade naturopath. I'm a homeopath, so I use homeopathy. I'm a Reiki master teacher, and all of the natural healing wisdom that I've accumulated and used on my body. So that's the underpinning. But muscle testing, and specifically digital muscle testing, a form that's called bioenergetic testing. I didn't make up that term, but that's what it's called. That allowed me to ask questions and get answers. It's a great match for my engineering brain. This technique that I use has lab grade equipment and computer software. It's totally customizable, which is perfect for me. I can design tests and experiments, and I can run series of questions and ask them faster than I could if I was just verbally asking you questions one-on-one. So if your listeners have never experienced muscle testing, it's fascinating. There are many chiropractors, applied kinesiologists, dietitians, nutrition people who use muscle testing. And what it means is if you hold your arm out and you're in person with someone and they press down on your arm and they say, like if it was somebody who was doing it with me, Leslie, if you were doing it with me, if you pressed down on my arm and you said, your name is Beth, that's my name. My arm would be straight. Like, and you say, yep, I feel that your arm is strong, it's straight. But Leslie, if you pushed down on my arm and you said, your name is Louise, my arm would go slightly weak, even if I was trying to keep it strong, because my body knows my name is not Louise. So that's the in-person version. Muscle testing can be done remotely. It can be done by yourself. You can look on the internet. There's all kinds of ways you can do it. Way you can test it on yourself is just, do you lean forward and feel a yes? Are you kind of repelled and you're pushed back and you go backwards and that's a no? So there's many ways to do it for yourself, and there's ways to do it with two people. So what I do with digital muscle testing, which by the way has been around for over 100 years, but with advances in engineering and digital technology and modern physics, we can do it incredibly fast, is I ask questions through digital electric signatures. So Leslie, I would send you a question that is electric. And your body would say, oh, here's the answer. And my equipment can read the answer. So if I asked you, how are your eyes? How are your ears? How about your thyroid? How about your heart? How about your spleen? You might know if your eyes are tired, but otherwise you have no idea what your spleen is feeling today. Is it in balance? Is it not in balance? So I can, because we are electromagnetic and we can communicate, and I can read those responses. And it's just like sending a text message, but we're doing it through the ether. I ping, I get the answer back, and I'm recording it in the software. So I can go through this very quickly. But I don't just want to know what's out of balance, because we all have enough problems. We don't need more problems. I want to know what you need to get back into balance. So if something's out of balance, I start asking another set of questions. Is it nutrients? How about minerals? Let's go through the minerals. Is it boron, magnesium, copper, zinc? Go on and on and on. Yes, no questions. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Is it an environmental toxin? How about heavy metals? How about pollen? How about pesticides, organophosphates, anything like that? Is there something that's clogging up the works and it's not allowing you to be in the best health? So once I have everything that I've asked you and I have everything that you need to be into balance, I create a custom homeopathic. And I take all of those energetic frequencies and I charge them into a bottle of drops and some patches. And I put them in a box and I mail them to you. And I give you a report of everything it says. So that combined with coaching calls with me is how health transformations happen. So that with with a client who had migraines, there could be a dozen reasons why someone gets a migraine. It could be hormones, it could be lack of water, it could be their cervical spine is out of alignment, it could be they slouch, it could be stress, it could be every time they think about their mother. So many things. And when I am able to use questions and ask and also find what is balancing, I'll get the exact signatures and give them to you because your body knows exactly what it needs. If I was just using pattern recognition, I would say, you know what? Most people get better with migraines if they drink more water and they, do whatever things. So that's the magic of what I do. It's that was the missing piece that goes on top of all of like the wisdom about movement and nutrition and setting boundaries and all of those things. So we need both coaching and this digital muscle testing.
Yes, very, very cool. Yeah, and do you feel like I'm hoping, right? Because we actually on this show get a lot of people in nutrition and health and alternative, right? Do you feel like the medical industry is moving more that way? I think one, we're maybe more accepting as people to explore other options, but I don't know if we're ever going to get the medical community to recognize it or embrace it as part of our health. Do you know what I'm asking here?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you that I have two clients who are medical doctors. I have one
Awesome. Yeah.
client
So,
who is an OBGYN. She's an expert at delivering babies. She's an excellent surgeon. And she has some things going on with her health that she has no idea. And she has tried everything that her colleagues in the traditional system have told her to do. She still feels terrible. So, my goal is that in the future, energy medicine will be known by everyone. I'm not here to change the traditional system. I'm here to change us, you and me. When we decide, okay, we want to find somebody else in our town, energy medicine is acupuncture, it's homeopathy, it's hands on healing, it's all of these things that are using your own body's wisdom instead of saying, you know what, you're deficient in this prescription, let's give this to you. That might help for an emergency, that might help, but maybe long term, that's not the right thing you want to do for the rest of your life.
right. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely think, and I think you're right. It has to come to us being advocates for our own health and saying, wait a minute. Yeah, that doesn't feel right here, right? I need to look another place. What percentage, and I'm super curious, maybe there isn't a percentage. What percentage, though, do you feel is emotionally related or connected somehow to the emotions?
It all is. It all is because see, this is what happens is that something sets us off and we push it away and then that resentment builds, it builds, it builds. And then traditional Chinese medicine, that resentment turns into anger. It's in the liver. And then we're snapping at people like, why are we angry at work or at home? It can turn into that ulcer. It can turn into that migraine. That migraine, it's all connected back to something that we weren't able to fully process and heal. Sometimes it's from when we were younger. Sometimes it's from grief that we took our 3 days bereavement, or we were sad for 1 year. Aren't we supposed to be over it? No, there is no timeline. And sometimes it takes longer, and that settles in. And so every winter, your lungs are weak. Like, why do I always get that cough that won't go away? That's your weak spot. Why does my lower back always hurt when I get stressed? That's your weak spot. There is an emotional reason. So as a homeopath, and when I use digital muscle testing, I'm also working with homeopathics. They're so beautiful and gentle to help balance the emotional side of things. So we didn't talk about it. We talked about like nutrition deficiency, maybe, or maybe you have environmental, but it's also emotional support. What is your stress level right now? And then what is trapped from long ago? That's a part of it. There's no way I can do this work without using emotional as well as physical remedies to help balance someone out. I have a small story about a client of mine, overweight, thyroid issues, all kinds of issues, joint issues, came to me because she's like, now I can't get up the stairs without my knees hurting. My knees hurt so much. So did her testing. She had a lot of chemical residues, and we had to, help her body like, hey, this is how you process this stuff. Took some time. I didn't go jump in there and say, well, here's your diet plan and here's your movement plan. She didn't want that. And then after a few weeks, she said, hey, I went up the stairs and it didn't hurt. That's pretty cool. That's all she did, was like, she was taking the homeopathic, the custom remedy. Then she sent me a text and said, I took a Zumba class, a dance class, and it was fun. And I haven't felt that much fun because I'm so overweight. I don't like moving that way, but I enjoyed myself anyway. And then a few weeks later, I don't know why I'm sitting on this couch anymore. I hate watching television. I have to get up and do something. 6 months after we're working together, no diet change, no exercise plan. She's like, I don't really like my job. I'm getting a new job. I got a new job. Then it was, people think I look amazing and they're wondering what I did. I'm the same weight. I haven't changed my diet yet. So after 6 months, so now it's been like 9 months. She says, can you talk to me about food? I think I'm ready for that.
Oh,
So the
interesting.
emotional stuff had to happen first. Her body knew what it needed. And we were both patient with that. Now, some people don't, not every client is like that. And, we talk about food with other people sooner, but with her, yeah, it was emotional. She had to heal the reason why she was on the couch. And I'm not a mental health counselor. We didn't go in deep with it. I know a few things, but if she had needed that, she would have gotten that support. But emotions shifted it.
Right? That's a beautiful story, and on so many levels. Because too, then because the knees were healed, right? She could do the things that brought her joy, and then joy changed the outside, well, the inside, and then the outside because other people saw it. And then all of a sudden she's like, okay, I'm ready to make the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, very cool. How exciting. And it sounds like the process, that you're talking about, the bioenergetics, really speeds up that process in the sense we can get to what our body is trying to tell us very quickly.
Yes. Yes. Because you're not going to go to ask your body, what do you need help with? And everything comes up like, oh, everything's a disaster. We need everything. Because you know what? Your body can't cleanse that. Because what that actually looks like is your body, your cartilage, your fat cells are holding on to things that are protecting you. And if you actually dump that all in your bloodstream, you'd feel so sick. You would not like that at all. Even emotions, when those emotions are healed, there's a physical process of letting that go. And so what speed you can go at.
Right.
And when
Right.
somebody else says, hey, here's your detox protocol, wow, that could be too much.
Right. Yes. I'm one of those people who, when detoxing, I guess it's always been big, right? But at some point, somebody convinced me of it. Oh, my body was like, mm-mm, we're not doing that. We hate that. Like, yeah. I was like, that's not for me.
Yeah, yeah, but the
So
marketing
you're
is
right.
so good. It sounds like you need it. It sounds like, "Oh, wow, this is the next thing I need. This is gonna help me with all these things." And it can for some people, but not for everyone.
Right. And I think that's the key. And that's why what you do is so important, right? Because we're turning into what the person needs, not, and that's always been an issue for me too. I'm a smaller person and I metabolize super fast. So like any kind of, and now my body's like, nope, we don't do any drugs, right? I get all the side effects, or uh doesn't metabolize, and then or it metabolizes super fast. And so yeah, I appreciate that people are moving more to that individual, because I'm always the one that says, nope, I can't do any of those drugs. One, and two, you're going to overdose me because I only need like half. Oh no, no, you don't. Yeah, we're basing you on the average. I'm like, I'm not the average. None of us is, right?
No, none of us. And even people who they look at their blood tests, blood, that's great. People love their blood tests. They're lagging indicators of things that have settled in and are there. By time it shows up in your blood and urine, things have been happening for a while. But those numbers, those averages, it's comparing it to an average population. Average population is not too healthy. So if you're someone who considers yourself fit and healthy, that's the last thing you want, is to be compared to a bunch of average, probably unhealthy people.
Ooh, yeah, that's a super valid point. Yeah, like that should scare everybody, right? Cool. Well, I know you have a free gift, a 60-second quiz to help decode what your body's really trying to tell you. You want to tell us a few minutes of, or a little bit about that? Because we will put the link in the show comments for everyone.
Absolutely. So I came up with a quiz. It's 10 questions. It takes about a minute. And once you take it, you'll get my insights on the area of your body you should focus on. I'll send you emails with tips that you can do. Everything is simple stuff you can do on your own. And you'll also get access to my private podcast where I talk about that. So if you like to listen, you can go to the private podcast. If you like to read, it'll get sent over multiple emails. But all I want is more healthy people in my life, in my community, in the world, because we think better, we're more creative. And so this is my gift to you is, hey, if I can help you take care of this area of your body. And sometimes people don't even realize that that thing that's bothering them shouldn't be, that you can. You eye floaters, you don't have to live with eye floaters. There's a reason why they're there, and they're a message. And I'll tell you, if that's you, what to do about it.
Ooh, I love that. So everybody grab that free gift, because that is amazing. And like, I love what you do. It's so fascinating and I think so needed. Is there any piece of advice you would give somebody who's listening, who's maybe on the fence, or like, in that situation saying, oh, I've tried everything?
Yeah, your body is always talking to you. Your body wants to heal. Always. Your body is always healing. Ask, listen, and take action. Don't silence those messages. They're love letters from your body.
Mm. I love that too. So, all sorts of gold nuggets in this episode, everybody. Thank you so much, Beth. This was so interesting. We could go on. Like, yeah, my brain is already like, I have a million questions, but we better wrap it up here, right? So, any last words you'd like to say to our listeners?
No, just head on over to yourhealthwithbeth.com and take the quiz. There's a big button there that says take the quiz, and let me know if you have any questions. I'm here for you.
Awesome. Love that. All right. Well, be sure and subscribe, everyone, because you don't want to miss any of these powerful conversations with women who are really using their stories to change the world. And that's definitely what we need. All right. Thank you.